what is that? About a minute left. Yeah, a minute left for the Daily Noonerino. Hey guys, I'm a little bit big in the camera. Ooh, hey, gotta get inside the circle. How's it going, people? This is your Daily Noonerino. You know what they say. There's always news somewhere. And here we are. We're back. We're back. We're back in business, so to speak. Here, I'll move my face down so I fit in the friggin' circle. Hey, Anyway, it's been quite a long time since the last Noonerino, which, if you were paying attention, I was in a camp somewhere. And, well, things got cold. But not to worry, because guess what else? I lucked out and got myself a place to live. So, me and the dog are just fine. Well, I'm not sure I was being rescued. I think maybe the dog might have had more to do with it. But hey, as I said, it's always noon somewhere, so we got to celebrate. And in the spirit of, well, our ancestral home here, we have to go to Rumble because everything else sucks. But let's go check out the Rumble feed, I guess. And I've been preparing the screens and what have you so we can have ourselves some fun. Just like in the traditional Noonerino fashion, we're going to go and have ourselves a look. I wish I could be a little bit more jovial. Just, it's been a lot of work. I've been getting a lot of things set up. I've been trying to get a bunch of stuff done and get my life back on course from living 74 days in the camp to finally starting to rebuild a studio. And look, black screen. Look, black screen. I'm in space. Do a Superman thing. I got green screen, black screen, all kinds of screens. Pick a screen, any screen. We all screen for green screens. But anyway, listen, let's see what we're going to see in the Rumble feed today. Deep state panic, international child trafficking, whistleblower, riots in China, and MOA. An hour and 55. We're not going there tonight. Official tried to warn New Zealand government Avi Yemeni ban was illegal. Avi, you're a good dude. He gets a raw deal. he just keeps getting fucked with. But he's holding his ground. Can't say I can't agree with all of his methodologies and the way he applies himself. But however, it's not my place to criticize or judge him. However, he is being fucked with, and they fuck with him on a regular basis. So, yeah, poor dude. In that sense, he does kind of ask for some shit. Drag queen storytime protest gets heated in Vancouver. Bow chicka chicka wow. All right, we're not going there. Alyssa Milano is pissed off at Elon Musk over memes mocking her vagina. Hell yeah. Let's give the salty crackers some coverage. Because, yeah, like he even needs it. He's pretty dang popular. But anyway, let's see how we do with the sound.
You.
Like heaven for little girls. For little girls get bigger every day.
What kind of cheap shot, Joe?
I'm suing, I'm on it.
So I'm guessing absolutely nobody around Alyssa Milano, none of the human trash remora around you are going to tell you to just stop using the internet. You better stop using the internet. You just got absolutely trounced by Elon Musk and a crap ton of conservatives mocking you because you can't. Yeah, I'm not gonna use my Teslas anymore. Oh my God, Ziz, Tesla's literally a Hitler Nazi. What are you gonna do then? I'm gonna go trade it in for a Volkswagen EV. I think Volkswagen is a corporation founded by Hitler, who was probably a Nazi. But he was a vegan Nazi. He was a Ukrainian Nazi, so it's fine. Whoa, that's a weird thing to say. But anyhow, after just getting absolutely brutalized, thank you, by the way. You made a bunch of people that I love a whole bunch of money. Now, Jeremy from the Corner is making a bunch of money off of you. Geeks and Gamers is making a bunch of money off you, right? Everybody's making a ton of money
I'm not making any money off you right now, but hey, hook the brother up.
off of you because you're just view gold. And so if you're monetized on YouTube, asshat platform over there, you're making a lot of money off this goofball. So please don't quit the internet. Please keep going out there and demanding that everybody knows that your vagina smells like cat piss. Seems like a weird flex because look at it, here she is. She comes right back out again. She's not learned her lesson. I guess it's our job to teach this dumb bitch a lesson. Here you go. Alyssa Milano on Twitter says, "Is this the freedom of speech that you want, Elon Musk?" Yeah, totally. This is totally the freedom of speech. Yeah. All these people who told you nobody's coming for the First Amendment, nobody's against freedom of speech. For the last 6 years, they've been calling you a conspiracy terrorist, racist, trying to kill gay people or something if you questioned, their love for the First Amendment. And then an African buys Twitter, and immediately all these people are like, "Oh my God, the First Amendment, freedom of speech is a threat to democracy. Freedom of speech is a threat to democracy." That doesn't make any sense, you dumb idiots. But again, your vagina smells like cat piss, so I'm not going to take a lecture on civics from you. But yeah, this is exactly the type of freedom of speech that we want. Again, you called Kavanaugh a rapist. I mean, damn. Imagine the hubris from this dumb asshole. You're upset that people are making fun of you. You held up a piece of paper on the internet and took a picture. Are you not remotely paying attention to how that's going to turn out? And you're upset that they put in there that your vagina smells like cat piss? You called Kavanaugh a rapist. You called conservatives a rapist. And that's nothing compared to you calling conservatives Nazis. You've completely benefited from the freedom of speech that has been afforded to you by the best country on this planet. And now that it is open to everybody on Twitter...
But I digress. Yeah, it's like the only time it's ever going to happen. And like it has nothing to do with anything else. What else are we going to find in this feed today? All right, let's go back. Let's see what else we can find. There was a story I was looking at earlier today, actually. And go over back to the use loop. Let's go back to my history. I'll play a few minutes of Daniel. I don't want to fucking mangle his name. Bulford. I think it's Daniel Bulford. I don't want to mangle his name. I covered him back in January on the Daily Noonerino, and it was regarding leaving the RCMP. Well, deciding to resign. I'm just sorry, I'm reading. I can't chew bubblegum either, so sue me. I'm sure I watched it. I'm looking at my history. It's like, no, you didn't. I'm sure I did. It wasn't a dream. Be over here. On this Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah, well, witnesses and the subpoenaed documents in the cross-examination. The Walker Commission is not yet done. There's going to be a public policy phase and other things, but the drama of the last month has come to a close. Eva, you were one of a number of lawyers from the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedom and the Democracy Fund. How long out there half of the civil liberties lawyers in Canada, by which I mean Democracy Fund, JCCF, Canadian Constitution Foundation, and even the Liberals at the Canadian Civil Liberties Association finally thought they'd wrap up their 2-year vacation and engage in the Freedom File, thankfully. Tell me what it was like actually being a lawyer associated with the commission. You were granted standing. You were given early access to privileged documents. You were given interactions with the judge. And of course, you cross-examined witnesses. What was it like?
I don't know where to start. I can't believe it's all come to an end. It feels like it just started and then it was just a daily grind. It was 31 days nonstop of evidence. And, you know, when we are having long days like we did, and then you're still preparing for the next day. And of course, my clients were a huge focal point in all of this. The protesters, the reason everything came to head.
Ah, for God's sake. Well, that's not annoying. Not even a little bit. Ah, for crying out loud. Well, you know what they say. Can't win them all. Let's see what we got here.
Head as these protesters came to Ottawa to hear from their federal government, and we know how the federal government responded. So this was all about whether or not this was justified. You asked a few questions and quickly in the intro, and getting all these documents, like you said, we did. But the way this was set up and how quickly this all transpired, it was hard almost to assess everything that was happening as it was happening. I think I'll be decompressing, and we're all going to be thinking about this for months and possibly years to come.
Let me ask you, do you think it was, I mean, we'll see what the report says. We'll see what the judge's findings are and what any recommendations are. So, of course, we don't know how it's going to end. I mean, it could go a number of ways, but the process itself is an outcome, a sort of outcome, having police answer questions under oath. And I think generally the police told the truth, having politicians under oath. And I frankly think generally the politicians lied. I'm sorry. That's just what it looked like to me. Lied, or at least evaded, avoided, talked out the clock. I suppose that's different than lying, but there was lying too. I think in general the process was positive, and anyone who looked at it directly or through the filter of Rebel News or other freedom-oriented groups probably learned a lot. But there really are two solitudes: reading the coverage in the Toronto Star or the CBC or Global News, which has just become the worst media outlet in the country. It's hard to believe. They're engaging in revisionist history of this Trucker Commission, just like they engaged in revisionist history of the trucker convoy itself. So although I think the Trucker Commission was very useful, if your only source of info about it was the Toronto Star or Global News, you remain in the dark about what was really happening. That's my thoughts. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's unfortunately still the same. People are watching two different movies, and that's how it was since the beginning of the protest in Ottawa. Truckers going to Ottawa, if you looked at some of those mainstream media outlets you were talking about versus social media, it was a completely different story. And then it's unfortunately still the same. So what we've learned, I hope, is that you really need to get firsthand information, number one, be way more involved, be way more active, really investigate things for yourself. And I really hope at least that is something that people have learned throughout the process. And I agree with you very much. It was really interesting to see the police give evidence, and also senior officials. So not the politicians, but senior levels in government, at least on a municipal scale. It was quite different to see what they had to say.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, we have a half dozen clips of your own involvement, and I'd like to show that. Like I say, you were granted standing, you and other civil liberties lawyers. So there were a lot of lawyers there, and sometimes the cross-examination of politicians or police was, you had 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And frankly, you ask one question for a minute. Every politician worth their salt can give a 4-minute evasive maneuver. Let's go through. We've got a half dozen clips. Let's just belt through them. The first one was when you were asking Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister. That must have been exciting. First of all, that you not every lawyer had a chance to have a go at Trudeau. You asked him, I think, questions. I mean, you sort of knew he was just going to duck speak his way through things. So you put more thematic questions, less sort of legal cross-examining things. Here, let's show the first clip, and I'll show people what I mean.
People have testified in this inquiry referencing your widely published comments and calling the unvaccinated racists and misogynists. And we have heard testimony in this inquiry about how some of your officials wanted to label protesters as terrorists. Would you agree with me that one of the most important roles of a prime minister is to unite Canadians and not divide them by engaging in name calling?
I did not call people who were unvaccinated names. I highlighted there is a difference between people who are hesitant to get vaccinated for any range of reasons and people who deliberately spread misinformation that puts at risk the life and health of their fellow Canadians. My focus every step of the way, and the primary responsibility of a prime minister, is to keep Canadians safe and alive.
I bet his vagina smells like cat piss. All right, let's move along, shall we? That's another highlight from Rebel News. What else we got? Rescuing America from Idiocracy. Let's showcase JP Sears. You got to check out all these guys' channels. Rebel News, you'll probably only find them on Rumble. They're on several other platforms as well, but just not the popular mainstream ones, of course. You know how that shit goes. But I digress. What do we got here?
At a time when the people of America were plagued by idiocracy, one man was their only hope. Common Sense Man.